Hi, I'm Craig Grant and this is Cobweb Maths, and today we're going to talk about sayings, wise sayings that is, and we're going to look at what Henry Ford said. Now, this video is about the wisdom of words, part 1. That's what the WW part 1, WW1 is all about. If you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. That's what Henry Ford said, and I believe him. Now, I have a collection of what I call touchstones, and this saying here is one of them. And I have touchstones because I think wisdom is a virtue that is worth pursuing. Now, my touchstones help me make sense of my own world, and I also create my own touchstones because I find out things, and if I put them in words, I can recall the words, and they are just easier. Now, here's two that I'll refer to in this video. Where there is no will, there is no way. And that's related to another saying which says, where there is a will, there is a way. But I think if you change that, and look at it this way, I mean, the other way is a positive way, that's a negative way, but you can get some understanding out of that. The other thing is, people live their own reality, and every reality is different. And that can often explain differences in opinion. Now, for the second part of the video, I'm going to tell you a story. Now, it was the end of the 20th century, I was teaching, and I told a couple of my colleagues that I was going to teach my slow learners algebra. Now, they thought I was crazy, and they told me it couldn't be done. And I said, why not? And they told me that my slow learners weren't intelligent enough. Well, they didn't use those words, they said they're too thick. Well, I didn't believe them, and I told them, I don't believe it. I said, there has to be a way to do it, all right? There has to be a way to do it. I mean, that's the way I think, you know, it's just a problem. You've got to work it out. And I was going to find it, and I did. And I'll show you. And it's quite simple. It needs to be simple, right? Because I'm going to teach slow learners. It's that simple, you can teach it to children. And you'll have some people tell you, it's impossible to teach algebra to children. Well, it ain't necessarily so. Okay, so this is how I start teaching my slow learners algebra. I put up this question, a plus 2a. And I say to them, that's in the mathematical world, and I draw a line under it there like this, and I said, look, let's go into the real world and see what it's like in the real world. And I said, look, there's a table, and on the table we have an apple at one end and two apples at the other. They get that. And I said, in our world, what we do is we group things that are together. So let's put all the apples together. So we put all the apples together, and I'll say, right, how many apples have we got? And they count them, yeah, there's 3 apples there, okay. So we've done that in the real world, so we go back to the mathematical world, and the answer is 3a. And that's easy. And you can do complicated questions like this. I mean, I went on from there and I did, you know, questions with B in it. B was a banana. Then we added C, which was the carrot. D was a donut. E was an egg, and so on. So they got the idea. Anyway, here's this question here. All right. 2a plus b plus 3a plus 2b. You draw a line underneath it. You come down here, 2a, a couple of apples here, a banana here, 3 apples there, and 2 bananas there. So what do we do in the real world? We put things that are the same together. So we put all the apples together. And what do we end up with? 5 apples. Oh, that's the dog out there. I'll ignore him this time. And we have 1, 2, 3 bananas here. And when we go back up into the mathematical world, the answer is 5a plus 3b. Now, this is how how concrete concepts work. This is all about concrete concepts. And you can teach algebra to children, like I said. But people will tell you, you can't. Now, let's look at, oh wait a minute, that dog's distracting. Sorry about the delay. Anyway, I'll put this up here. Right, there is a lesson to be learned. Here's the lesson. We are limited by our beliefs, which create the reality we live. Now, my colleagues were wrong about the algebra, teaching algebra to my slow learners. They were wrong about that. But they were right about me being crazy, because I was a crazy classroom teacher. However, there was a method in my madness. Now, you'll understand that when I tell you the next story. Now, the other point I'm going to make is, I hope you can see that, but if you can't, stories are memorable. Great way to teach. If you want students to remember something, make it memorable. That's another saying, by the way. All right. Let's get on with the final story. One day in my classroom, a student said to me, "You're a crazy teacher." It was a question. He didn't understand why I was a crazy teacher. He thought there was something in there, but he just couldn't figure it out. He didn't understand what I was doing. I said to him, I smiled at him, and I just said, "I know, but I'm crazy smart. You remember the crazy things, don't you?" And then he understood why I was a crazy teacher.